All right, welcome. If you're jumping on, welcome. Please leave your name and state below. Let me know where you're coming in from. We're about to go over this analysis for gold and Bitcoin. Right, so share this with your team. If you're already on my team, then pay close attention. All right, this will be the move for the week. And like I said, I wanted to start trading Bitcoin on the weekend. So we're gonna start doing an analysis for that. All right, so if you're on my team, go ahead and jump on. Let them know in the chat. We are live. All right, let me go ahead and let them know. Let's go. Let's go. Going over. Let's see. All right, so we let them know in the chat. All right, so welcome. If you're jumping on, all right, so let me copy this link, share it to the chat. Here we go. All right, welcome y'all. First off, I'll start by saying I'm very grateful for another day, grateful for you guys, grateful for my team, this opportunity to be able to jump on here, make money on my laptop. I'm very grateful to have life in my body, for everything that I have, right? And just very thankful, very grateful. All right, so with that being said, let's get into it. This is our gold analysis. Okay, so if you don't have TradingView, go ahead and go to tradingview.com, register, make a free account. All right, so you should see this. Okay, another site that I want you to pull up is forexfactory.com. This is going to let us know major news events for the week. All right, so if you've never been on forexfactory.com, it basically breaks it down into three different categories. Yellow folder is low impact, orange is mild, and red is high impact news. All right, so anytime that you see a red folder in the pair that you're trading, that means that there's going to be a lot of volatility in that pair. All right, so just be prepared for that. Make sure you have your stop loss set. Make sure that you brace yourself for a lot of movement in that pair. Okay, so we see today we don't have too much going on. Markets close, but we will be trading Bitcoin, so it's a whole different ball game. But Sunday we have Euro news drop in. Monday we don't have any major news. Tuesday we have the Fed Chair Powell testifies at 10 a.m. Okay, USD should be moving. More USD news Wednesday 10 a.m. So USD should be moving starting Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right at 8:30 a.m. We got the core CPI dropping, unemployment claims, and then Friday, same thing, right? So next week it should be a high volatile week, starting off on Tuesday, right? So it's going to be pretty slow going into Monday, but Tuesday things should pick up, right? So that's probably when we'll start to place our trades on Tuesday, right? So that's for gold. So next thing that you want to do is create your broker account, right? If you don't have a broker account to even trade with, you need to get a broker's account, right? So two different ways to go about this. All right. So the first way is you can get a funded account, right? You can get a prop firm account. This company is going to lend you the money, right, to be able to trade with. Now, a few things with the funded accounts, right? There are rules There are rules that you're going to have to follow, and also a phase that you're going to have to pass, right? You're going to have to reach 10% on this account first. Once you reach 10%, then you get access to the live account. The money that you make after that, then you can withdraw. Okay, so that's really how prop firms work. And it ranges from anywhere from $10,000 up to $400,000, right? That you can trade with. So they got a one phase, they got two phase, and then they got three phase, right? So the one phase is you got to reach 10%, two phases reaching 5% twice, and then three phases reaching 5% three times. Okay. And each one is different amounts. So like, let's say you get the one phase 10K account, which is the lowest. Come down here. We're going to be trading on the MetaTrader 4, and you can choose raw spreads. All right. So that's going to make it $85. So with the discount code, okay, it's going to make it $63. $63 to get you a $10,000 account. That's a pretty good deal, right? And you just have to pass a one phase, which is reaching 10%. So once you reach 11,000 in profit, then it switches over to a live account, and then the money that you make after that, then you can withdraw. All right. So yeah, if you need the affiliate link, I'll put it in the comments, so you can use my link. Copy that. Boom. All right. Then you just use the code. Use code 4th of July. Right. And that code will be good until the 8th. All right. That code expires on the 8th. All right. So yeah, you use that code 4th of July, then you'll be good. Get an account, 10,000 to 400,000. Once you have that account, go ahead and send me a message. Right. Let me know that you have that account. All right. Use code 4th of July. All right. So that's one way, right? Another way is going through a broker, right? An actual broker. So the one that I use is called Sway Markets. All right. So let me refresh this. Oh, they're doing maintenance right now, right? So Sway is doing maintenance right now, so it'll probably lasts for here a couple more hours, and then you'll be able to register. All right, but I also use Sway Markets. You can use them, pretty good, right? Fast deposits, fast withdrawals, and we trade on. They have their own platform, right? Let's see. Okay, so yeah, they're performing maintenance right now, so they'll be back in 15 minutes. So all good, right? So yeah, Sway Markets is another good one. Uh, Another good one for the U.S. is FX Choice. Okay. Let's say good one, right? Sway Markets, FX Choice, ATC Brokers is a good one for people in the USA. Um, IG Markets. Okay. If you're outside of the US, then I use CoinX, Eagle FX, XPig, Okay, so that's just a few of them that I use. If you're outside of the USA, right, you're going to use CoinEx, EOFX, FXPig, ACAP. Um, if you're inside the USA, Sway Markets, FX Choice, ATC Brokers, IG Markets. Right, so start your demo account first, and then you're going to download the platform. Okay, and it's going to look like this here. Okay, so once you log in, it's going to look like this. Right, it's going to ask you for your login. So they're going to send you your details to your email after you create your demo or live account. Right, so you just copy and paste the login number, the account number, and then the password. Okay. Make sure that you have the right server right here. If you're logging into your live account, make sure that says live. If it's a demo account, make sure it says demo. All right, click save account information. Go ahead and log in. All right, then when you log in, balance will pop up. All right, so this is your MT4 platform. This is where you'll be placing your trades. Right here will be the sell button. When I say we're going in for a sell, you're going to press this button. When I say we're going in for a buy, you'll press this button. Lot size will be set right here. Okay, so most of the time, you're going to be using 0.01 unless you have a bigger account, right? Like a $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 account. Then you can move it up, right? If you're working with a $10,000 account, I would say that you could probably place 0.03 to 0.05. 10,000 would be 0.1. Okay, I would keep it around there. 50,000, you probably could move it up to like 0.25. 100,000, I would say you probably could use 0.50. All right, would be safe. So yeah, that's just proper risk management. We'll go over more of that in our training, right? I'll explain to y'all what proper risk management and the right lot size to use and all that good stuff. All right, so now you have your MT4 set up. You got your broker account. You got it funded or your demo account. Now we're ready to come over here and make our analysis. Okay, so you come over here to Trading View, and you're going to back out. I'll say back out to the daily. Okay, 4-hour daily. We'll just go with the daily. And the reason why we want to back out to the daily is because we want to see overall how it's been performing in the past. All right, so you look left to get right. Look left, right? We're looking in the past to get right in the future, right? So we can position ourselves to be in a profitable position, right? But you got to know where we came from, right? You got to know where we came from. So you want to back out to the daily and ask yourself, which way is the market going? Which way is the market going? So a easy way for you to figure out which way the market is going is if it's starting in the bottom left and it's going to the top right, that's an uptrend. We're starting in the top left corner, going to the bottom right, that's a downtrend. So we see here, we're starting in the bottom left, going to the top right. So we're going to take our trend tool, start at the lowest point, and connect the dots, right? And it doesn't have to be perfect, right? And then in order for it to be a trend, you need it to touch your trend line at least 2 to 3 times. All right, 2 to 3 times, 2 to 3 touches on your trend. That's going to make it an official trend. All right, 2 to 3 touches. So you see here, got one touch, went up to a certain point, came back down, tested our trend, came up to the all-time high, tried to retest, rejected, came up, created a new all-time high, came down to the same level. All right, now we're in this little bullish momentum we're seeing right now. Okay, eventually it will try to come back down and touch this trend like it has in the past. All right, but right now we're on this We're in this upward momentum, right? This bullish momentum. Okay. For those of you that don't know, bullish means going up. So when you hear people say bulls and bears, bulls, when they say the market's in a bull, it's a bull market, that means that it's going up, right? Bulls mean up, bears mean down. Okay. So that's just so that you'll understand. But yeah, right now we are in a bullish uptrend. Okay. Market is seeing this bullish momentum. Right? So now we know which way the market is trending. Next, we need to figure out what zone we are in. All right. What zone are we in? And the way that we do that is we identify major reversal points. Major reversal points will help us identify what zone we are in. Why? Because major reversal points are points where the market was seeing resistance at that level, right? At that area. So we identify the major reversal points. What's a major reversal point? Just like it sounds, a point where it reversed, right? Very sharp point. Usually is a wick, right, at the top of it. So like you see where my mouse is, here's a major reversal point. Here's a major reversal point. All right. And we're just going to identify just a few. You don't have to get crazy with it. All right. But just enough so that we can see areas of resistance. Okay. So these are just a few. All right. So we see we have a major reversal point here, major reversal point here, here. All right. So it would be safe to say this will be an area of resistance for our daily time frame. Which is probably where price is headed. Okay, because we're in this bullish momentum right now. So if it does keep going up, it's probably going to go and test that area up there. Okay. So now we have our two zones, right? So the top zone is going to be called your resistance, basically a point where price is going up to, it's not going past. And then the bottom, right? Your bottom zone is going to be called your support. Okay. This is your support area, price where price is coming down to and it's being supported because it's not going past that area every time it gets there. All right. So we see here price is bouncing off our support, bounced off our resistance, bounced off our support, tried to test our resistance again, didn't make it quite, right? Bounced off our support, didn't make it up quite, bounced off our support. Now it's back at that level, right? Like in the past where it didn't go past, but it's starting to break that. So if it breaks that level, it's probably going to head up to this area here for the daily, right? It's 24.27 to 24.42. Okay, so if you were to get in for a buy and trying to hold it for the long term, I would set my stop loss somewhere around here, 23.27 area to 23.18, and I would hold that buy up to this area. All right. Now, if you're going long-term trades, understand you're going to need to use a low lot size. Okay, so that if there is a pullback of some type of pullback, right, or resistance seen at this level, then your account can handle that. All right. But yeah, if it does go up, which is what we're anticipating, probably will go up to this area here where it has in the past. Okay. Now, if you like to scalp like me, you're going to want to go down to lower time frames, right? So that we can get in at a better entry and profit real quick and get out the market. Okay. So we're going to go down. I'd say you want to do the same thing on the 4 hour, on the hour, the 15, and the minute, right? I like to do it on the minute because I just like to scalp real quick. Once the news hits, get in, get my bag, and then get up through. Right. Sometimes I may hold it if it's a really good trade. I just continue to move the stop loss up. All right, I'll hold it for longer times. But yeah, generally my trading sessions, I just like to get in, get out the market. We're done trading 30 minutes to an hour, right? No longer than an hour. Get in, get the bag, and get up through. Right? I got other things to do, like spend time with my beautiful girlfriend or my dogs, or go on walks or hikes or whatever. Right? Working out. That's why I like to scout, because I don't want to be watching the market all day. But yeah, long term trades are cool, right? I don't have anything against people that are swing traders. That's what it's called. When you like to hold for a long time, that's where the real big money is made, right? But I just like to get in, get out. I don't want to spend all day trying to look at the chart and making sure my trade's still in profit, just stressing. Right? I just want to get in, execute, run up a couple hundred or 1,000, get up out the market. Right? That's just me. That's just me. All right. But you can do whatever you want, right? If you want to hold longer term trades, then trade on the higher time frames, right? And get an entry, good entry on the higher time frames, and then hold it for a week, 2 weeks, a month, sometimes. All right. But yeah, for me, my style is scalping. Young scalper. All right. So you can see here, like I said, if price is starting in the bottom left, going to the top right, that's an uptrend. Okay, so we're officially still in an uptrend, even though it is seeing a little bit of a pullback, okay, a little bit of consolidation right now. But overall, see here, connect the dots. My bad, let me put some advising on it. Love you too, bad. All right, so you're gonna go from your trend line from the bottom, okay? And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Right? It doesn't have to be perfect, because you see here, we had that big drop, right, on Friday. NFP, right, broke. It tried to fake people out like it was going to start heading down, and then it came back into structure. Okay, so yeah, you got to be careful for that, right? This is a good lesson for people that were in for sales. Um, yeah, you got a quick bag, but you should, right, make sure that you move your stop loss up, because it those things can happen, right? It can shoot down and then come right back up on you, right? So this would have been good. I made a little bit of money on the sell coming down, and then some money on the buy coming up. But yeah, you got to be careful when the news events hit, right? NFP and all that stuff. You got to make sure you have your stop loss in place. And just trade responsibly, right? Be smart. Don't be in a desperate mindset. Okay, I talked about that earlier, and actually, right, I want to go over that right now, because that's really the most important thing, right? This mindset thing. This is really the most important thing, because yes, the analysis that I'm showing you right now, using that strategy and that tactic is going to make you money, right? But what's really going to take you to another level is your mindset, right? When you get the mindset locked down and you start becoming a better person, mentally, physically, spiritually, right? That just takes your trading profits, takes your trading to another level, right? And honestly, this is what you should focus on first before trying to do your markup and trying to trade and all that. Make sure you have your mindset in the right place, right? Don't do it like me. I did it backwards, y'all. I tried to worry about the money, hurry up and run up a bag, and then try to get my mindset right. All right. I was hustling backwards. So I lost a lot of money in the process. Okay. But you can avoid losing money if you get this mindset thing down first. All right. And we're not going to go all into this, but yeah, we talk about this on our trainings. Okay. But yeah, this mindset thing is very crucial. Right? If your mindset isn't right, then your trading won't be right. Right. So we see here prices starting at the bottom of our trend, going up to a certain point, came tested our trend, tried to test it again. Okay. Now we're back at our trend, just bounced off. And we're kind of like consolidating right now, right? Riding our trend line. So only two things can happen from here, right? Either it's going to go up, bounce off this trend line, or it's going to come down, break structure, retest, and keep coming down. All right. So this is the first thing that you try to find, right? Find your trend. The trend is your friend. Okay. Trend line. So now we know this is up trend, upward trend that we're in right now. Okay. Next thing that we try to find, we got to identify our major reversal points, right? So that we can see what zone we're in. Right? Same process, right? On every time frame, it's the same process. Every time I wake up, it's the same process every day. Okay, so we see all right, and if you're just now jumping on, we're figuring out what zone we are in. The way we figure out our zone is by identifying our major reversal points. The major reversal points are usually at points of resistance. Okay. All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay. So yeah, just identify a couple. That'll basically let you know where areas of resistance are at. Okay. So we see we have some resistance along this line. So it'd be safe to say our support. Right there. All right, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Just to give you a general idea of where price is bouncing off of. Okay. All right. So yeah, this is the zone that we are in right now, right? Price is just bouncing up and down off this zone. Okay, so we came from our support here recently, bouncing off our trend line. All right, let me zoom this in a little bit more so you can really see what's going on. Right? We probably can tighten up on this a little bit. Actually, that's pretty good. Right? So we just bounced up out of our support area off the trend line, right? This bullish momentum, this bullish engulfing candlestick, two of them formed. Now we're seeing a little bit of pullback, right, to our trend line. Seeing some resistance right here. Okay, so we're seeing a little bit of resistance right here at this level. And what do you know, right? Same thing happened in the past where it got to this level. Saw some resistance. Saw resistance, right? So it came back to the same level, bounced off. Now it looks like we're trying to head back to our resistance area. Now, what I would do, okay, because it can come back and test a trend, right? But it only can do two things. That's why I love trading, right? That's why I love trading. I don't really get into gambling because there's just too many possibilities. But yeah, I like trading because even if you guess, you got a 50% chance. right? All price can do from here is either go up, test this resistance area, try to come back and retest this trend, and then maybe take off. Or it's going to come back, test the trend, maybe break it, right? Come to this area of resistance, retest our trend, and then continue down. All right, only 2 scenarios. So if you were to get in for a buy, right, when market opens this coming week, all right, I would set your stop loss probably somewhere around this area, around the trend line, like 23.90, and then try to catch that buy, all right, that short-term buy. Quick little scalp up to this area, 23.92.3, 23.92.71. All right, catch that quick buy, and then it's going to see some type of resistance and come back and retest this trend, right? So I would just continue to move your stop loss up if that does happen. Now, on the sell side, right, it could come back down, retest this trend line, break the trend, come down to our resistance, retest, come back down, right? In that case, if you get in for the sell, I would set your stop loss somewhere around 23.92. Okay, somewhere around here, 23.92, and then ride that sell down to this resistance area, right? 23.89.5 area to 23.88 would be your take profit one. All right, but for me, we're going to anticipate these buys. We respected off the trend line here. We came back, tried to retest at least halfway. Okay, if we take our Fibonacci tool, and this is a little bit advanced for you guys, but if you take your Fibonacci tool, okay, right, so we had it go up, came back almost about halfway. Okay, so the 50 retracement is right here. So it could come back and retrace at least halfway, okay, before it heads up. So that's what I'm saying. It's a possibility it could come back to this trend line. Okay. But if it does respect this area, right? If it does respect that area, then we're going to go in for the long position here. Set our stop loss there. And boom. Okay. So this is a possibility, right? This play here, starting off the week. Now I would use a low lot size because it could pull back, right, into our stop loss zone before it tries to go back. But what I'm anticipating is that we see this shoot up. And the reason why I say that because I feel like we're retracing from a previous high, right, that we saw. Okay. So our next stop, if we break this area, our next stop will be somewhere around here. Okay. If it breaks that area, then our next stop will be somewhere around here. Okay, because this is the previous high that we're coming from, right? It's trying to retrace this long move. Right, so let me make this a little bit shorter. All right, so it came from this area. This is on the hour time frame. Okay, so the resistance on the hour time frame is where it came from. Right, this is the support on our hour time frame. So this is the big drop. Now it's trying to retrace back to this resistance. You see what I'm seeing? Okay, so if it does break this area, our next stop will be 2400, 2409. Next stop after that will be our previous high at 2449, right? 2450. All right, and I think that's what's going to happen overall. Okay, we're going to see this buy action. We may have a little pullback, right? Maybe to this area if it does pull back. Right? But yeah, I'm anticipating that it goes back to this zone, back to this resistance zone. Okay. All right, so that's for gold. All right, that's the outlook on gold. So like I said, on the minute time frame, I'll be looking for that buy in the beginning of the week. Okay. So this is the move I'm anticipating. Now, it could come back and try to fake me out, right? It could try to fake me out, come back to this support zone, break my stop loss, and then come right back up, right? Or it could break our trend, retest, and continue down. Right? But only two options, right? Guys, two options. You can be 50-50. That's why I love trading, right? It's a 50% chance that you could be right, 50% chance that you could be wrong. It doesn't really matter what tools you use, what mentors you have, what signals you're taking. Everybody has a 50-50 chance, right? It doesn't matter your experience. Somebody with zero experience has the same possibility, the same probability as somebody with 10 years of experience. It's all 50-50, right? But you can give yourself an edge by doing this market analysis, okay, and then using other tools as your confirmation. So that's what I do, right? I got the SBA. That's also going to give me a level of confirmation on top of my analysis, right? So I trust my analysis first over anything. I don't care how good anything is, right? I don't care how good anything is. I trust my analysis over anything. So any tool that I use, I'm only using as confirmation, right? It's not life or death for me, anything that I use, because what if it goes away, right? People with certain systems and these tools, they act real funny. And when they let people use stuff, right, they want to be quick to shut it down or take it away or just have control over it, right? So you just never know when it's going to be here, when it's going to be gone, when it's going to be working, when it's not, right? So you don't want to become dependent on these certain tools, right? So I just use it as confirmation. If I see it in sell, right, this red arrow, then I know I should be looking for sales. If I see it with the green arrow, then I know I should be looking for buys, right? And I just go off of my analysis. So if my analysis is telling me I'm looking for buys and I see a buy on my tool, right, or my indicator or my bots, then I know, okay, that's another level of confirmation for me, right? But I don't live and die off systems. I don't live and die off of bots and indicators because they're here today, they're gone tomorrow. You don't know, right? You just don't know, right? So since you don't know, you want to prepare yourself. The way you prepare yourself is by doing your own analysis and learning the skill, right? Once you learn the skill, nobody can take this from me. It doesn't matter what tool you try to flash in front of my face or what indicator you have or bot. I am the indicator. I am the bot. It's as simple as that, right? So it doesn't matter what I have. I know if all that stuff is stripped away, I still have this skill. Nobody can take this skill from me. It's already in my head. I've already learned it, right? So once you take time to learn the skill, then you become more powerful because nobody can take that skill from you. They could take all your money away, they could take everything that you have. You still know how to do it, right? Nobody could take that from you. So even if you have to start from scratch, you can get it all back because now you've taken the time to learn the skill. Okay, so very, very key, y'all. Trust your analysis and use the other stuff as confirmation on top of your analysis, right? On top of your gut instinct. All right. So that's the best advice that I can give you guys. Um, but yeah, this is how we're rocking. If you want to get into the trading session, right? I'll be holding my own trading sessions we'll be starting at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Okay. 9 a.m. Eastern time is when we will be starting our session, Tuesday to Thursday, 9 a.m. Eastern time, right before the market opens. And yeah, that's how we'll be rocking. All right. Inside my group, I'll be letting you guys know my analysis, what I'm looking at, and then the signal inside the group as well. All right. This week, we are going to have some pocket option sessions. Okay. What we get on pocket options is make some quick money. Yesterday, I showed you guys that. All right. Pocket options is a way that you can just make some quick money, right? And it's in and out. Whether if you get in for a buy, right? This is how it is, right? I'm just going to do an example trade with you guys. Just looking off this chart, okay, just eyeballing it, I would say, probably coming down. But yeah, so this is how it works, right? You get in for a trade. This is how long the trade will be. Okay, so they have it all the way to 5 seconds, 15, 30 seconds, 1 minute, and it'll count down, right? So if, like, let's say we got in for a buy here. If it's I'm sorry, we got in for a sale. So if it's above this, we lost. If it's below, we won. Okay, so you see here, it was above, so we lost that trade. Okay, and I was just eyeballing it, just giving you guys an example, but that's how it works, right? That's how binary option trading works. It's real quick money, high frequency trading. Okay, so yeah, we'll be having a few sessions on this as well. All right, just get some quick money, get a quick bag, and get up out the market. All right, so there's a drop that I was actually looking for. All right, so we got in a little bit too early on that trade, but yeah, um, that's how binary option trading works. Okay, so just real quick, you set the time limit whether you want to get in for 5 second trade all the way up to 4 hours. Right, set the amount that you want to trade, so it's going to let you know the payout. Okay, and then when we say we're getting for a buy, we'll press this green button. When we say we're getting for a sell, we'll press this red button. Okay. So I can't leave off a loss. So I gotta get in for my get my win in real quick. Even though, all right. So all right. So that's what I get for eyeballing it again. But yeah, perfect example, right? Perfect example of you don't want to jump on here and just guess, right? You want to draw up your own analysis and get in at a good position, right? So that you can make money and not lose money. When people jump on here and they just start guessing on what direction it's going to go, that's how you lose money with this. Okay. But yeah, we ain't going to go off on a loss. So we lost those three. So I'm going to get in for 4 trades. 15 seconds. All right, and the reason why I got in for 4 trades, I'll show you guys my strategy. But when you lose trades, to get back into profit, I took the same amount of trades, right? So we lost 3 right there. So my next setup was 4 trades, which puts us back in profit. Okay. So yeah, I just had to get on. I just had to get a win, right? I wasn't even marking this up or made any analysis for this, but I just wanted to finish off with the win. All right, because that's just me. But yeah, so we'll have a few pocket option sessions. We'll also have some forex sessions as well. All right, but yeah, it's gonna be a good week. Okay, so make sure you get your funded account with FXIFY, right? This right here. I put that affiliate link in there. You can use code NOAH10 or you can use code 4th of July to give you 25% off. All right, so get your funded account, go to Sway Markets, load up your account with them as well. Okay. So here are the brokers that you guys can use. All right, so if you're in the USA, I use Sway Markets, FX Choice, ATC Brokers, IG Markets. Owanda is another good one. Okay. And those are regulated brokers, right? So anybody in the USA, you got to kind of use regulated brokers unless you had one of these accounts before they stop taking in members from USA, right? So people outside the US, you can use CoinX, EagleFX, FXPig, 8cap, right? Those are just a few good ones. But yeah, right. So make sure you get that, get ready. Today we will be taking some Bitcoin trades, right? So now we're going to head over to Bitcoin, BTC. We're going to try to see if we can find a setup on Bitcoin, right? And we actually did. We had this buy, right, that I called out yesterday. We are in profit right now. Okay. So I'll probably be looking to get in for a buy on this. But yeah, we'll go through the same process, right? Same process on how I got this, how I came up with this buy. Right. All right. So yeah, we actually will get in for a buy on this just because just looking at this, right? I feel like it's about to take off. Oh, we're still in performance maintenance, right? So we're still in maintenance on there, so can't get in a buy on that. We will get in a buy over here, right? And this is my demo account, but we're just gonna get on a buy. Do that big. Maybe like a 0.25. Right? So we're officially in a buy on Bitcoin. But let me break this down for y'all. Okay. So let me get rid of these drawings. This is on the 15-minute. All right, so we're on the 15-minute. I'll just start from the 15-minute and we'll work our way down. Or Actually, we'll go back out to the daily just so you guys can see what's going on. All right. Okay. All right. So, like I said, we figure out the trend, right? First thing we do is figure out the trend. Which way is the market going? So you can see here, starting in our bottom left, we're going to wait to top right. It's an uptrend, right? If it's in the top left, bottom right, that's a downtrend. All right. So actually, that was a good level. All right, put that out. All right. So you can see we're in this uptrend, and like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it does need to touch your trend line at least 2 to 3 times for it to be a trend. Okay. So we actually could go from uh, so it's all good. We can just go from here, go from there. Okay. So you see prices starting here on a trend line, going up to a certain point, coming down, testing our trend line, going up to a certain point, coming down, tried to retest our trend line, went up to our resistance, came back, bounced off our trend line perfectly. Now, right. So we just recently saw this bearish momentum. Okay. But we're still in an uptrend. Okay. Until it becomes below this point, we're still in an uptrend. Okay. So now we want to figure out what zone are we in, right? What zone are we in for the daily? How do we figure out the zone? We identify major reversal points. Okay. Our major reversal points. So we see we have there, here. Okay. Right. So now we have our major reversal points. You can see most likely we are inside this zone here for the daily. In that zone for the day, right? So this is on the daily time frame. We are bouncing off our resistance, coming down, testing our support, bouncing off the resistance, coming down to our support, right? So congratulations to those people that got in for a sale up here, rode it all the way down to 53, 53, 900 area. Now we're starting to see a little resistance, right, off this trend line. It's looking like it wants to respect this area. So if it does respect this area, then it's probably going to try to come back to test this resistance, which is really what I want to see, right? Ideally, if it breaks this area, our next area of support, right? How do we find that? Identify the major reversal point. Okay, have one there. Some type of resistance here, right? All right. So worst case scenario, if it doesn't respect this support area, if it breaks through, we probably will head down to this area, right? 49, 49.9, 49,000, probably like the 50,000 area, right? Worst case scenario, which would be great, right? Because then Bitcoin goes on a big discount. This is even a greater position to get in for a buy because it probably won't go below this point ever again. If it breaks that, worst case scenario, it comes down to the 40K area, which people will probably go into a panic and think Bitcoin's crashing, but it's probably going to turn around after doing that, right? Just to wipe out all of these stop losses from people getting in, right? People that were in buys from here up to here, right? Trying to wipe out all those stop losses before it turns around and heads to the moon. Now, what I wanted to see, I wanted it to respect this area, right? Respect this trend line and just continue to bounce off and then head to the moon. That's in a perfect world, right? In a perfect world. Yeah, we're in that buy right now. Okay, so on profit, but this is the move that I'm anticipating. And we're at a good key level, right? On the daily time frame, we're seeing resistance. I want to see it bounce off here, do something like that, maybe come back down, retest this trend, and then take off. All right, that's what I want to see. Okay, so that's on the daily time frame. All right, then we just do the same thing. So I'm gonna go down to the 15 minute, all right, because you can start to see. All right, so 15-minute is on looking like downtrend. Remember, like I said, if it starts in the top left, going to the bottom right, that's a downtrend. Right, so for the 15-minute, we are in a downtrend. Okay. All right, so we know we're in a downtrend. This is the 15-minute, by the way. Okay, downtrend. Price is starting here, bouncing off our trend, bouncing off our trend line, bouncing off the trend line for a fourth time, fifth time, sixth time. Finally broke the trend. Okay. Broke the trend, retested a little bit, came up, tried to retest again, and now we're in this upward momentum. Right? It's trying to break structure. Right? It's trying to come back up after this big dip, right? This big bearish move. Okay, so now we know what trend we are in, downtrend, trying to break structure, right? Barely. We're kind of just consolidating right now. But yeah, now we got to figure out what zone we are in. How do we identify the zone? Very simple. Very simple. We identify our major reversal points. I know I better have sound. Hello? I know I better have sound. Okay, good. Whew. I thought we was mute for a minute. Okay. All right, cool. Good. I thought we were. All right, so I would have been salty. Okay, so we come identify our major reversal points. All right. Bada boom. Excuse me. All right. So we're seeing a little bit of resistance here. All right, so we're right on this resistance area, trying to break this. Okay. All right. So what we want to see, I want to see this break this area. Okay, so this is the zone that we're currently in. This being our support area, this being our resistance. So we're now at the top of our resistance again. Bounced off 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fifth time coming to the resistance area. So I want to see a breakout in this. And then our next stop will be somewhere around 58, 350. Right? 58, 315 will be our first take profit, right? After it breaking this area. Now, if it respects this area, it's probably going to come back down and retest this 55, 900 area. Okay, which is a possibility. Because what usually happens is when it breaks a trend, it will retest the trend and then continue up, right? We had a little retest here, but not quite. So it could come back and fully retest and tap off our trend before it heads up, right? But I'm in for a buy right now on my demo account. Once maintenance is done on Sway, then I'll get in for a buy, see what happens, right? We may have a pullback, but yeah, we'll just get in for a light, something light, and then once I see the breakout, I'll get into bigger lot size. All right, so this is a possibility. It could come back, retest this support area, retest our trend, and then continue up. Okay. But really, what I want to see it just break this area and head up to this resistance area. Okay. Worst case scenario is it pulls back to this support, this 55,900 area, and then comes back up, right? But in a perfect world, it just takes off from here, right? We already had this big pullback, create a lower high, and now it's consolidating. Okay, so now I just want to see it just shoot back up and recover from this big crash, right? This big crash that we saw. It was all the way up here, right? The 63, 6,400 area, and then it just started to tank, right? All the way back down to 53,500. Now it's starting to try to recover. All right, you guys. So my Bitcoin lovers, people that trade Bitcoin, don't panic. If you saw that, don't sell all your Bitcoin off. All right, it's going to recover. It's going to pull back up. It's just going to take a little minute. All right, but right now, yeah, like I said, I'm trying to anticipate these short-term buys. Our next take profit will be around here, 300. Okay, and then I just want to see it fully recover, at least 50%, right? So if we take our Fibonacci tool from here down to here, okay, 50% retracement of this big bearish drop that we saw would be right here. Right, that's at 50%. Worst case scenario, it pulls back 50% and then crashes some more. All right. But even if that does happen, y'all, don't panic. It's always going to pull back and then recover, right? Just like it's done in the past. It always goes up and then comes back down. All right. You don't believe me? I'll show you. All right. So if we back out to the month, this is the monthly. Okay. So, and we're still really early in this whole Bitcoin era, right? It's still really early. Like this is just the beginning, y'all. So don't panic. All right. Okay. So just like it did in the past, right? You see, went up. This was in 2017, right? And I remember this because I went on a trip to Spain around this time, and I remember being in Spain and it just shot up. Right, it started to shoot up. Then when I came back from Spain around uh, like fall time, going into December, it shot all the way up, right? And that was 20K. Came all the way back down, fully retraced, right? Almost 90%. Came back up to the 13,500. Came back and retraced almost 90% again, right? Probably about 80%. And then it took off, right? Took off after that big dip in 2020 in March, right? That was when COVID hit. Everybody was selling their Bitcoin, and then it took off, right? Went to, what is that, 69, or the first time it took off was in 2021, March, and it went up to 56,843. Then it came all the way back down, right? It retraced halfway again. So it always does this, right? From this point, retracement tool, from that point to that point. right? So from this bottom, it shot up all the way here, pulled back. What is that? 50% area right here. Pulled back, right? About 50, 60%. Went back up, pulled back again to about 80%, right? So went up to this all-time high again, right? So same thing. Came back about 80%, just like it did back here. Shot up, okay? Now we're seeing a little bit of resistance. So the pullback, I mean, y'all, just to be real, okay? So from here to there, the 50% retracement would be all the way down here, okay? So to be perfectly honest, right, to be completely honest, it could still pull back all the way to this 44,600, right, area. That would be halfway. What is done in the past is pulled back at least 80%. 80% would be 28K, 28.5. All right. So if we're going off, just judging off the past, it's always retraced about 50 to 80%. So a retracement from this point here would be down to the 28, 29K area. If it does that, then you definitely want to get in for buys around this area. Right. But what I'm hoping is that we don't retrace that much and we just take off from here. Okay. Our last previous high was right here around this 74K. All right. But honestly, it's probably going to retrace at least half of this, right? Half of this move that it just made, right? We were in a bullish uptrend from 2023, January 2023, all the way to like March of this year, right? And what did it do before? March 2021 crashed, Bitcoin crashed at least 80%. Went back up after that 80% retracement. Right? Well, it was really probably like 60% retracement. Went back up, came back, retraced at least 80%. Same thing. We're in March up here, right? Started crashing around March. So we're probably going to retrace at least 50%, right? So that would be all the way down to this 44,600 area. So brace yourselves, right? If you are in long-term buys, okay, brace yourself. It's going to pull back at least 50 to 80%. 80% will be all the way down here at the 28, 29,000 area. I'm just being real, right? Just off of my own analysis and judging off what it's done in the past. Yes, in a perfect world, we want to see it stop right here, stop pulling back, and just continue up. But if we're judging off the past, when it reached all-time high, it came back at least 80%. Okay, just like it did back here in 2017, went up to all-time high, retraced. Right, we can figure it out. All right, so let's just go back in the past. All right, grab our retracement. When it shot up from about here to there. All right. Okay. So look, from there, when it shot up, this was in 2017, right? 2017, and then January, February, March started crashing, and it came all the way down to about 80%, right? This would be the 78% mark. Went a little bit past that, so about 80% retracement. That was the first spike. Okay. Then what happened again? Spiked again, right? Started to spike again after it crashed in March 2020, right? It crashed again, came all the way down to, to almost 3,900, right? Almost about 80%. Retraced again, twice, right? So retraced once, retraced twice, shot all the way up. Okay, so now let's see. Let's see how much this retracement was, right? From this shoot up, right? So shot up once, retraced twice. So let's grab our Fibonacci tool. What was the pullback from there to here, right? Shot up, tried to come back, 50, about 60% the first time the retracement, shot all the way up, retraced all the way. Y'all, it's doing the exact same thing over and over, right? We just got to position ourselves so that we can be on the winning side. Could have been a millionaire on this first one, 2017, right? If we got in for that buy here, caught that buy all the way up, cool. We missed that. Retraced 80%. Could have got in for a buy here, cool. We missed that, right? That buy in the beginning of March 2019, pulled back again, 80%. Could have got in for a buy there. Okay, this was April. All right, this was April of 2020. Should have been getting for a buy, right? April of 2020 could have made that decision right there, right? If we were drawing up our analysis, okay? And I had this analysis drawn too. That's what's so crazy. I had my trend line from the top of this, right, to that second. I told myself when it breaks this trend, it's going to retest and then take off, right? I kept telling myself that week after week after week. No, wait for the break, retest, get in for the buy, right? So when it came down like this, I was like, dang, Bitcoin might be over for Bitcoin. So I kind of stopped watching it, started to creep back. People started talking about it again, right? Broke my trend line. July 2020, broke the trend line, retested, right? You see this? Retested the trend line, took off. Perfect buy opportunity right here would have been August, September 2020. If you got in that buy, you were a millionaire, multi-millionaire. Even at a 0.01, that's five figures at least. From there all the way to here. Oh my God, right? So cool. August 2020, we missed that buy opportunity, right? So we watched it, we watched it, we watched it go up all the way to 6,400. And this was in April 2021. Okay. So April 2021, around March, right? Around the end of March, beginning of April, started to come down, right? Oh no, Bitcoin's crashing. So it retraced about 60%, right? About 61%. Took back off, right? That could have been another buy entry. When you saw it retrace halfway, could have got in for that buy all the way up to here. Cool, we missed that. That was in October 2021, going into November. Started crashing again. Retraced 80%, just like it did in the past back here, right? Retraced 80% before it started to take off. Retraced 80%, started to take off, right? Went all the way up here. So this is another buy entry that we missed. December 2022, which is 2 years ago. 2 years ago, right? So many opportunities for us to become millionaires, going up and even coming down, right? So this next play is going to be us catching it coming down at least 80%. Okay. We could see some resistance around here, around the 38% retracement, right? We could see a little pullback. But honestly, if it's going off the past, we're at least going to come down to this area, right? This is what I wanted to see it do. Follow my analysis exactly the way that I'm drawing it up, so that I'm not going to miss this next retracement and then take off. Right? I'm saying it right now. Okay, so realistically, it's going to come back down to about this area, 31K 26. All right, could see a pullback at least halfway, right? At least halfway of this big move is what we're going to see. All right. So if I take my Fibonacci tool from this move to here, halfway would be about right here, right? So we could catch sales coming down to this area. Now, before the takeoff, it's always retraced about 80%. So 80% would be around this area, right? A little bit past this area. I'm telling y'all, if it pulls back all the way right here, again, I'm making sure I'm in for buys right here, because if it does pull back here, just like it did in the past, 80%, it's going to take off. It could take off from here, right? Nobody really knows. It could take off from here, right? We could see this last resistance area. It pulled back about 30%, could take off. But if we're judging like it has done in the past, every time it took off really big, it was after an 80% retracement, right? Just like here, 80% retracement, took off, 80% retracement, took off, 80% retracement, took off, right? So when I see the 80% retracement again, I'm not going to miss this, right? So we could catch sales coming down to the 80% retracement. Okay. And actually, I want to delete this. Well, we're up now, but I'm going to delete this short-term buy, right? So if you did get in for a buy, you were in profit on that last one, on that last call. But honestly, looking at this, we probably should be looking for sales, right? Probably should be looking for sales, because just judging off the past, right? And even looking at the top of this, right? We saw long wicks when it started to drop. What are we seeing now? Long wicks at the top, long wick, and now we're starting to drop. So what I want to see this do, I want to see it continue to crash. I know that's kind of bad for my people that are in the buys right now, but just going off my analysis, I want to see this will be halfway retracement right here. 80% is really ideally what I want to see, right? For me to start getting in for buys. But yeah, sales, we probably could catch sales coming all the way down, at least halfway for sure. But yeah, we could catch sales all the way down to this 80% retracement. And then I want to see it take off, right? I'd love to see it take off at the 50%. But just like it's done in the past, after every time it retraced at least 80% is when it took off. So we missed this one, right? Back in 2022, December. Should have been getting in for buys right here. Right? It was around 80% retracement. Missed that cool for 2 years straight. It's been on this buy up until March, right? Every time it hits March, something about March, April, it's never good for us, right? Even as an economy. So we started crashing around April, March, just like in the past. Now I think we should probably retrace at least 80% around here. I'm not missing my opportunity again, even if it is, right? Even if I have to wait till I mean, this move couldn't happen until like May, right? So what was the 80% retracement was in March, happened in March. 80% retracement over here happened in, yeah, around January, right? December, January 2019. February, March was when it started to head back up. All right. So now we are in, okay, so this move could probably happen around here on December this year. January, February, March, right, of 2025 is probably when we'll start to see this this whole thing play out, right? The pull down from here to here probably be from now till December. We'll probably see this retracement around February, March 2025 is probably when we'll start to see this turnaround, right? After the 80% retracement. So yeah, we're going to eat off of these sales for a while. Could see some spike ups right here and there, some pullbacks, but overall, I'm expecting Bitcoin to come down to the 80% retracement mark. And then from once it gets here, I'll start getting in for buys, looking for buys, and then to the moon. Okay. But yeah, anything could happen, right? It could take off from here, could come down halfway, take off. You never know. But for sure, I will not miss this again after I see an 80% retracement. Because every time in the past, it retraced 80% here. It retraced 80% here, 80% right here. And it took off every single time. So why would it come down to 80% again and then not take off? Okay. And like I said, we're still really early, y'all. We're really early in this investment. Even if you got in for a buy here and it retraced to here, right? Still, you could be getting in for buys all the way down to here and it's still going to retrace, right? Eventually, you'll be back in profit. So if you're in buys now, don't close out of your buys. Just try to hold it. Hopefully, your account can handle it pulling back to at least around this area. And then when you see it pulling back, right, just get in for buys down to this area. Load up on your buys, and then it's going to take off. All right. So the move from here probably retrace all the way down to this 80%. We want to see it come back. We'll probably do some type of resistance, right? Probably we'll see some type of resistance, come back, try to retrace, and then take off. All right. So I want to see it break this previous high, which was 74, 73.6. Okay. I want to see it break that. So yeah, you can get in for sales all the way down to here. Start loading up on your buys. Okay. Even when we get in for buys down here, it probably will try to retrace again this area and then before it heads up. Okay. Just like it did in the past, right? Came all the way down here, started to go up a little bit, faked those people out, came back down even lower, and then started to come up, right? Had a little retracement right there, and then shot up. So yeah, that's my prediction, right? That's my prediction for Bitcoin. We're gonna see. Okay, probably gonna take a couple years for this to play out, but in a couple years we will recheck with each other. Hopefully, when we recheck with each other, we'll be millionaires, multimillionaires from these moves, right? So honestly, you could become a millionaire from this drop. If this does drop, you can become a millionaire off the sales. Definitely, when we catch these buys and then we talk again after this move, we should all be in a good space. If you miss this move, I mean, it's just on you, right? But we've had plenty of times, plenty of chances for it to profit, right? And for this to make us multimillionaires. So yeah, right. Okay. And this is if we draw our trend line from here to there, right? That's why I say we're still really early in this investment, y'all, in Bitcoin, in the Bitcoin era. We're still really early, right? Boom, came back, touched our trend line, came up to all-time high. So it'll probably try to test our trend line again right here, right? So once it comes to this area, 80% retracement area, right? That's the same place where our trend line is. Try to come back, bounce off our trend line. When it gets here, that's when I'll be getting it for my buys. Boom. Missed this opportunity, right? It sucks, yeah. Right? We had to watch all those people become millionaires off that move. Okay? But we're going to get another chance. Okay? We're going to get another chance. And it's lining up. It's lining up for us. All right. So, y'all, that's my analysis on gold and Bitcoin. You guys got to play. Um, yeah. Okay. So, for the daily time frame, I say this is probably going to retrace at least 80% down to this support area. We may see a little resistance at the 50%, right? We may try to pull back up, drop again. But yeah, I definitely see it coming to test this trend line again. Okay. And like I say, y'all, look how early we still are in this investment, right? Started off down here around 2011, had our first shoot up in 2017, came back, retraced 80%, retraced 80% again twice, shot all the way up, retraced right here about 50%, went up. Okay, so this is the move that's setting up, right? This is the first breakout. So like I said, all right, let me break this down for y'all. I'm getting excited because it's just opportunity after opportunity, y'all. It's here, right? The money is here for us. We just got to position ourselves, and this is the timing, right? The timing. Got to just time it up. All right, so this move right here, boom, this first here. All right, so that first shoot up, the pullback was around here, the 50 to 60%. So that's what this first pullback will probably do here. We'll retrace about 50 to 60%. Okay, and then try to create an all-time high again. And then it came all the way crashing down 80%. Right? So even though we missed it here, right? This bullish push, we missed that. We could have caught the sales coming back down at least 50 to 60%. After 50 to 60% retracement, it went all the way back up to create an all-time high again, and then came back down, right? So you could have caught sales coming down, buys, sales all the way down to the trend line, okay? And then this is the move that we just missed, right? This bullish big push started happening in 2022, January 2023, all right? And now we're seeing this retracement, probably going to retrace 50 to 60% first. Okay. 50 to 60% will probably be the first retracement. So that will be somewhere around here, around the 44,500 area. 49, right? 50K to 45K, right? In between this area will probably be the first retracement. It'll probably try to come back, may create an all-time high again before coming down to our trend line. Okay. This bad boy definitely is coming back down, right? We can see in the bearish A little bit of bearish momentum, still overall bullish, but this little pullback is forming, right? So it'll probably coming back at least 50 to 60, if not 80, right? I want to see it pull back 80 to this area, then definitely getting in for buys, because every time it retraced 80%, just like it did here, just like it did here and here, it took off. Okay. So yeah, like I said, we can catch the sales coming down. We wait for the sales, wait for this pullback, and then catch the buys going up. We just got to be in right position, right? Be in the right position this time, have our money, be ready to invest, right? Have our account ready to press that button. Okay. And I'm going to be ready this time. Next time we talk, next time we do this analysis after a couple years, I want to be able to say we're multimillionaires, right? We should be in a better space. All right, y'all. So I hope you got value from this. Know what got you here, Mr. Laptop Lifestyle. If you didn't know, now you know. I'm trying to grow, like I always say, make the rest of it the best of it. I'll meet you at the top, because that bottom is way too crowded.